Welcome to Lesson 30, Common Denominators. Our objective today is that I can add and subtract fractions with different denominators. If two fractions have the same denominator, we say they have common denominators, like these guys on the left. These are common denominators, so they have common denominators. 8 and 4 are not the same, so that they are not common denominators. Why do we care anyway? Well, we'll get into that. So let's do this one first. Rename 2/3 and 1/4 so that they have common denominators. Okay, so the least common multiple of 3 and 4 happens to be 12. We looked at that in a previous video. So I'm going to make these have that 12. I need to multiply 3 times 4 to get 12, and I need to multiply this 4 by 3 to get to 12. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. So now I have two equivalent fractions that both have a denominator of 12. They're equivalent because I can reduce them down to get 2/3, and I can reduce 3/12 down to get 1/4. Go ahead and try this one out on your own. I'll see you in a second. Okay, the problem wants us to write these fractions with common denominators and then compare the fractions. So I need to get a common denominator. I know that the least common multiple of 6 and 9 happens to be 18. So I need to multiply this right fraction by 2/2 to get to 18. And I need to multiply this fraction on the left by 3/3 to get to 18. 3 times 5 is 15. So I'll have 15/18 on the left. And I'm going to have 14/18 on the right. Now we need to compare. 15/18 is greater than 14/18. So I'm going to choose that one. Let's do this one together. In order to add, I need to get a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply. My least common multiple of 4 and 8 happens to be 8. So I don't need to do anything to the fraction on the right. I just need to multiply the fraction on the left by 2/2. So let's do that. 2 times 3 is 6. Over 2 times 4 is 8. Plus 3/8. 6/8 plus 3/8 is 9/8. If you're fine with an improper fraction, feel free to leave it, or you can convert it to 1 1/8, which is going to be our answer, 1 1/8. Go ahead and try this one out on your own, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, now that you're back, the least common multiple of 6 and 4 happens to be 12 again. So I'm going to multiply this fraction on the left by 2/2. I'm going to multiply this fraction on the right by 3/3. 2 times 5 is 10. 6 times 2 is 12. Minus 3 times 3 is 9. Over 4 times 3 is 12. 10/12 minus 9/12 happens to be 1/12. That's going to be our answer, 1/12. Okay, now we have some mixed numbers. My go-to, since I always mess it up, is that I always try and convert these to improper fractions and then work with them. But just for you guys, I will try to work with some mixed numbers and we'll see if we do it correctly. So my least common multiple of 3 and 6 happens to be 6, so I need to multiply this fraction by 2/2 to get to 6. So 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 2 is 6. So now I have 4/6 minus 1/6. That's going to be equal to 3/6. And I'll have 8 minus 5 is 3. I need to reduce 3 3/6 down to 3 1/2. Now let's look at the improper fraction way. So I have 8 2/3 minus 5 1/6. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 2 is 26 thirds. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1 is 31 sixths. Now I need to multiply this by 2 over 2. My numbers are getting pretty big, but that's okay. That's going to give me 26 times 2 happens to be 52 over 6 minus 31 over 6. 52 minus 31 happens to be 21 over 6. So 21 sixths, I should be able to reduce that down. If I want, I can take a 3 out of the top and the bottom. So let's do that. 21 divided by 3 is 7. 6 divided by 3 is 2. I'll get 7 halves. Or that's the same thing as 3 and 1/2. See, look at that. I got the same answer either way. We're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.